on, by the way, for many hours, and I'm going to try to keep it under control here. But so let's talk about the search results. This is a search in Google on Weber Media Partners. Now, obviously, I'm going to come up for my own name, but what I want you to see is how many times I came up and from where. The first couple are from our blog. I wrote a post called Learning Loyalty from the Grateful Dead. There was a book written about marketing secrets from the Grateful Dead. How many of you have seen the Grateful Dead? Oh, thank God there's a few of you. We'll talk later. So David Meerman Scott, he's from Massachusetts, and he's a social media, god, as far as I'm concerned. He's brilliant, and he wrote this book with Brian Halligan, who runs HubSpot, because they both found out when they were working together they'd been to 50 Dead shows each. And so they sat down and they said, why is it that we love the Dead? Because they gave their content away for free. They let you record the concerts. You never knew what was going to be at a show. They were completely different. And they built a unique brand for themselves beyond any other rock band ever. And Jerry Garcia has been dead for 15 years, and they still have as big of a following. Now, how is that possible? Okay? So if you read that book, by the way, it's a very easy read. So I wrote this blog post. So this is the third one down. And I pinged back to David Meerman Scott. Now, I've had lunch with David, and he knows me. We're not close or anything, but he knew I was a Deadhead, and he saw the ping back. I don't know if you know what a ping back is. He came back to my site. He commented on my blog, which sent a link back to the world that he had written on my blog. Do you understand what's happening? That every time you get those kind of reciprocal links, you're driving traffic. And this was published, when was it published? It was a while ago. That's up on the top. I did that search yesterday. So then there's our LinkedIn profile, our Facebook profile. There's a listing on a business directory. There's a business blog that I was written up on, so an article that I actually wrote a post for someone else's blog. Then there's my Twitter account, and there's my SlideShare account. That's pretty cool, huh? You see how many cereal boxes I have in the cereal aisle? You'll never walk down that aisle ever again without thinking of me. This is a client of ours who we literally launched their YouTube video and their website 2 weeks ago. So everything you're seeing here was indexed in the last 2 weeks. Actually, I should say the New England Home one was launched a week ago because there was they just did a promotion with them. This Picasa album is a brilliant tool. How many of you have used Picasa? It's a Google tool, Flickr. The value of this is, again, post your photos up on Picasa, tag them, right? All sorts of great content for the captions, keyword content. They come up in the search engines. Then integrate them into the site. And I'm going to show you how we did that. The video down here on the left, we just produced this for a client. We had them go out to this property that has this, I don't know if any of you know Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, but it's a very high-end community, and this house, and I haven't actually seen their house, but in their backyard they built something called a pavilion. And if I tell you that most people don't live in houses like the pavilion, and that was just like this house in the back, they put in $500,000 worth of motorized shades. And it's the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen. And the interior designer has this wonderful British accent. And so we had her do voiceover, and we had the owners of the shutter company interviewed. And it's like better testimonial than anything you can imagine. Now, is it Matthew? Matthew does a lot with video and optimizing, and I think what's really important here is that, especially for people who are visually oriented, is it has such a huge impact. You can embed it in your site, you can have it on YouTube, it gets distributed, it gets subscribed to and shared. Incredibly powerful content. Now here's simply a search on social media marketing in Southborough, Mass. Now believe it or not, Southborough's a little town, but there's a whole Route 9, lots of companies on Route 9. And what we just want to show you is that, we came up on the first page of that for those keywords. I'm not sure that anyone would search on that, but I think what's important is that we are found for fairly general terms, and I would say that there's probably, I don't know, 50 or 100 businesses, professional businesses there. I'm not sure this is as relevant as this, but what I was trying to do is slice it two different ways. People search on keywords, not always on your brand. So, in some ways this is kind of obvious, but search engine results pages, you want your clients to show up on the first page or two. And I think this graphic kind of says all of these things, all of these tools will bring you on the first page. They weigh heavily in the search engines. And each one of them does something different. So I'm going to go through these quickly because, you probably know what most of them are. You know what a blog is, Twitter, and somebody raise their hand if you want me to explain any of these. Flickr, Picasa, I talked about, LinkedIn, YouTube, Vimeo, Dig, StumbleUpon. Does anyone know StumbleUpon? So you get a page and you do a thumbs up. You vote for it. It's like the Siskel and Ebert, right? Thumbs up. You vote positively for something and it gets higher in the rankings. And it gets served up to more people. SlideShare is another great one. So here is an example of Twitter. I put in William Ravis in Twitter and you can see all of the agents. The first one is the William Ravis Twitter account. But then, and there's some status, there are actually status updates as individual results in the search. So we're not talking about just their account, we're talking about the actual tweets. So if somebody tweets 3 times a day, and it's good content, think of how many times you're building more relevance in the search engines. And then all of their blog posts and anything that has Twitter on it, so there's cross-linking between the blog and Twitter, so that affects as well. And for instance, other agents' blogs. This is a law. National Association of Realtors says that you must, when you're a real estate agent, you must say in any publication, any promotional material, you must say who you're associated with. So if you're associated with William Ravis, it has to be on your blog and on your Twitter account. It's the most beautiful law for William Ravis because it forces their agents to promote not independent, they're not, promoting themselves as independents or promoting themselves as part of this company and this brand. So we have a program with Facebook that's just incredible and it's very exciting. We can't wait to see how far it goes. But basically, Dogwatch is a hidden fence company. Does anyone know what hidden fences are? Everyone knows invisible fence. Dogwatch is a far better competitor, just because I say so. They have 250 dealers around the world, and raise your hand if you've heard of co-op advertising. Okay, so Dogwatch says you have to have a Yellow Pages ad, and you have to do X, Y, and Z. You have to have a website, and if you do that, you get 6% back, cost-wise. This year, on October 1st, they rolled out the new co-op guidelines. You have to have a Facebook business page. And these people are dog trainers or landscapers, and it's the last thing they want to do. So Dogwatch said, and we know you might not want to do this, but we have a partner who can do it for you. And what we do is we set up their Facebook page, we optimize it, and we create content that we can distribute to all the pages in an automated fashion. So we do the research, we come up with content, and because all the dealers are in unique geographic locations, none of their customers overlap. So we can have the same content go to 250 Facebook pages, and the Dogwatch dealers don't even have to log in. And they're reaching out to their customers. Flickr, this is the back-face shutters example. I should say Picasa we're using. So basically what happens is we have a widget that pulls, an application that pulls galleries into the pages from Picasa. So all of the images are stored on Picasa, but they're being linked back to their website. So there's a link coming from Picasa to their website for hundreds of images. Pretty cool, huh?
Excuse me.
Yes,
You're storing on Picasa, is that helping with organic search results for images?
absolutely. If you search on back-based shutters in Google Images, you come up with these images. They're all tagged. Motorized shades, wooden shutters, you know, whatever the product is.